Hello my friends, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're all having a great day. Today's video is going to be a tie-in of my makeup favorites and a request for a more natural look, everyday look. This is what I wear every day. It's an everyday look, eye look, makeup look. And it's also using many of my favorites this month. So I hope you enjoy it and let's get started. Okay, so I already have my tape on. And I already have my Benefit Stay Don't Stray on just so it could set. I'm having a lot of hot flashes today, so we will just have to, you know, work in between them. And as I mentioned, this is my favorites. It's been my go-to face this month. So I will get started so we are not here forever. All right, so I am going to start with my, this is my Viseart Neutrals. And I am just going to take an e.l.f. Now the brushes aren't necessarily my favorites. I will mention when it is a favorite. These are brushes that I grab all the time. I'm going to take the second color in there, which is a very, very, very pale peach. And I'm just taking this color and using it as a base. And it pretty much just sets the canvas, we'll say, for the rest of the shadows. You can use a translucent powder here. But I have been using the Viseart Neutral palette a lot this month, and I'm just going to go over it just to give a little bit of color. I find as I age, I need a little more warmth to my skin versus the new brightness that you see go around. When I put too much bright on, I start to look aged. So pay attention to your face. Not everybody's going to look that way, but I do. All right, so now I'm going to go in with a, this is a Morphe 441, and I am going to take the Viseart, you can tell that's my favorite color. They don't, oh, right there. I'm going to take the Viseart right here, load it up on that brush, and just tap it off a little bit, and then I'm just going to take that color, and it is going in the crease area. It's just a transition. I'm not bringing it too high up in the inner eye area, but I do bring it up a little bit on the outer eye. But I basically am just feathering color out on it. I'm not really adding. The bulk of the color is going in the actual crease here, and then I am flaring it up. Okay, and that's just to give your eye a nice little lift. Okay, so I have just placed that color on both eyes as just a transition. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take a different brush. It'll probably be the same number brush, but we'll see. Let's see what I grab. I just grabbed a 441 Morphe. I like these Morphe 441s. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this color that's right next to the orange, and I'm just going to tap my brush into it. Again, this is just an everyday look for me. It's what I've been grabbing this month. I'm going to stay really low here. Okay, color stays concentrated, very low, concentrated towards the lash line in the crease, and just flares out slightly. I'm not lifting that color up high. Going in for the same color. See how I've kind of created a low V? A long low V though. So you're just going like so. Most of your color stays in the outer corner low, and then I'm just flaring slightly above. I'm not lifting that up into this area at all. Okay, same thing on the other eye, which you won't see. Okay, so both eyes are done with the medium brown shade. Now I'm going to take this, the brush I worked with first, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this orange. I love orange eyeshadows, I must say. Tapping it off, I'm just lightly touching it in. Now remember, I know some of you are cool colored girls or guys. Just do the same technique using colors you like. Notice that I start out with a very pale color, then I go 1 or 2 steps up from that color and work in the crease area. Then I lay down a foundation of the deeper tone in the outer. Now I'm taking an orange, and what this orange does for me is it just lifts up a little bit. So if you're using pinks, you might want to take a really nice mauve-y tone and just brighten it up a little bit right through here. It really just intensifies the color that you laid down, but adds a little bit of warmth for me and color, I just think it pulls it all together by adding just that little bit of orange. And it stays in the crease area, and it just feathers lightly. I'm not taking it all the way across. It's not going to the inner eye. All right, so both eyes are done with the warm orange. Now I'm going to take another brush. You can use the same brush, but I'm just going to take a more of a dome-shaped brush, and this is just the Ulta Professional Tapered Crease Eyeshadow Brush, a little more for a dome shape. And I'm going to tap into this warmer brown over here, just the tip, tap it off, and now I'm just going to really focus on the outer, right, really close to the lash line, and then just feather it slightly into a V. You're not even really, it's very subtle, very subtle. Okay, so that I've just placed really close to where the tape line edge ends, and just feathering it up as if I was doing a winged liner, and just make sure that it's even. In with one of your fluffy brushes, and I'm using the Morphe M441, and just soften the line a little bit. Now I'm going in, this is just a Stila brush I'm using. Remember, the brushes aren't necessarily my favorites, they're just brushes I grab. I'm going to go in with that first color we used and mix it in with a little bit of the deeper peach here. Tap it off, and I'm just going to lift up slightly in the corner. Notice it really doesn't deposit a lot of color, it just gives a little teeny illusion of having a lifted eye. Okay, I'm going to take that same fluffy brush, and I'm just going to lightly, just a light, notice I'm holding it way down, just a light feathering across, okay? All right, so now we're done with the upper eye, so I'm just going to gently take off the tape, and you see the tape releases so easily. It's not pulling anything. My eye does not lift up at all. And you just remove it, okay? So now we have these beautiful little lines here, which will act as our guideline. So now I just need to go ahead, I'm just gonna take my wet beauty blender, and I'm gonna check and see if I need to clean anything up with my trusty little mirror. Okay, so I do need to clean this up. So I'm just going to tap along here. You can use a wipe if you want. Someone questioned about your eye cream coming off, then it doesn't really. It's if I did my eye cream so long ago that it's soaked in, and that's the way it should be. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to use my under eye primer, and I want to mention I got a lot of my Sephora things back, and some I've had a chance to try, and many of you wanted me to try this Amazing Cosmetics Line Smoother and Primer. I have used for years one of their face primers, which is very heavy in silicone, and I do like it. But I have to tell you, and I know that many of you have seen other people using this, and I have to say that most of them are probably 20 years younger than me. This was a hot mess for me, an absolute hot mess. And unfortunately, I tried it on days where I had to go places and I didn't have time to redo my makeup. It was terrible. It did not fill in lines for me. It actually accentuated all my lines. So I think when you hear people talking, you have to take into consideration if they're younger than us. I don't have Botox around my eyes. I have Botox that goes into my 11s. I don't have it in my foreheads. I don't have it anywhere else on my face. I just have it here. So for me, and I have a lot of lines underneath my eyes. I don't have any filler in my what do you call that, the tear trough or whatever. I don't have filler in there. So for me, this was an absolute hot mess. I tried it 3-4 different times with different concealers. It did not work for any of them, unfortunately. I'm hoping that those of you who bought it in the sale, it works for, but for me, it did not. And remember, different skin types. I'm very, very dry, and I'm 57 years old, so things aren't always going to work for me the way they will work for a younger person, all right? I imagine if I had, fillers put in here and I had some Botox around here, that would take away some of the lines, but for me, It interfered. I mean, my concealer, now I have been using this concealer for about a year and a half now, and this concealer works for me with any other product that I've used. My concealer did not work or play well. That's why I tried it with many other concealers. I tried it with Dior and I tried it with a Clarins concealer, and it didn't work for either. So this is going back. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that the other people on YouTube that you have been seeing talk about it are wrong, but they are 20, 25 years younger than me, okay? So I'm gonna stick with my Smashbox, which doesn't fill in lines, but it gives me a nice moisture, and it does help my makeup last longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply that underneath both my eyes, and don't disturb your line. I sound like a broken record, I say it every time. And I'm just gonna tap that in, okay? And let that sit for a minute. I'm gonna move on to my Lancome. I will tell you, I love this Lancome La Base Pro Pore Eraser. Oh, if you have canyons for pores, you might want to try this. I'm almost out of this tube. This is the tube I'm gonna send to Florida, and I bought a brand new tube for here, but I need it for Florida too. So I'm going to be sending this down there, but I love it. And Joelle actually introduced me to that one. So I love it and thank her for it. I'm just going to put it where I need it most, and that is in the pore area. I love the Becca Backlight Primer. I use that, and I just put a little squirt, and then I tap it all over. I don't really rub where I put the Lancome on. I just tap this all in. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, my friends. Okay, so for me, I have been using my YSL foundations. Now, when I bought mine, they didn't have at my Sephora a color in between. They do now, but I'm not gonna go and buy it. I'm just gonna continue to use these two. And I have, I'll have everything listed and linked below for you with the names and the colors. But I take the warmer of the two. I take one full pump of it. And then I take the lighter one, and I just put about, I'd say a half a pump in that. I love this foundation. It does smell like cucumbers to me, but I do love it. Then I'm just going to pat that all over. I may need to add a little more, but I'm starting out these days with a lot less. And I go ahead and pat it in most of the way, avoiding that line. Don't disturb the line. And then I'm going to go ahead and just rub it all in. I like to pat, and then I'll sometimes finish it off with my beauty blender, but I'm going to take a look-see to see how it looks. And this is a good amount for me. I'm just going to put a tad more in my T-zone, so I'm just going to use a half a pump of the deeper and like a quarter of a pump of the lighter. And I'm going to mix them together, and I'm going to put it on my nose area and then in my T-zone. This seems to be where I need most of my work. All right, so now I'm gonna take my beauty blender. This isn't my beauty blender. This is Michelle from Makeup MLC has been talking about these. And my friend Debic1 sent me one in a package. So I went and I ordered a bunch of them. And I wanted to mention that our friend Michelle from Makeup MLC is back working at Neiman Marcus. She is the Chanel girl, but she can help you with anything in the store. I will put Michelle's number underneath. I'm excited that she's back there. I love having someone that I can say, I wear this, you know, can you find a color in this line, maybe Chanel, whatever one you want, and have her help me select. I love it. I'll put all that below. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tap. I don't rub with these sponges, I tap. And what this does for me is it just kind of takes out any finger marks that might be there. It just gives it a really beautiful velvety look. I love that. All right, so that's all I do for the foundation. Now I'm going to take my, again, most favorite, the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I'm going to take the peach, and I'm just going to put it right where I am so beautifully dark. And then right here I have all my beautiful little veins. I love them. They stay with me and they get worse with the years. Okay. I have to tell you that I have been using these brushes. Now these brushes are becoming favorites of mine. They were sent to me from Sigma first time. I have never, I mean, I think I was the only person on YouTube. I don't think Lisa is either. I'm not affiliated with Sigma at all. I don't have an affiliation code for you. I don't have any, nothing. I'm not going to make a penny off of these, but they, after so many years of being on YouTube, they contacted me and asked me if I would like to try some of their brushes. And I said, absolutely, because I did. So I've been using their little concealer brush. Now, I do love all of my other concealer brushes too, but I thought I would share this because Sigma are affordable. And it's a beautiful set. I'm not sure if you can buy these on or by themselves. I'm sure you can with Sigma. But this is really a nice brush. So I've been using this to really blend my corrector in. And it's perfect. I mean, if you want to drag it down and make the V, you go right ahead. But I'm finding that less is more for me. Okay? So I love this. And this is the Concealer Blend Kabuki, and it's number F79. I'll put everything below for you. I really like that. And they have a couple others that I really like too. So I'll show those when I'm done with my concealer. Now you can use that brush for your concealer also. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little concealer right here and right here. I don't know, this one seems a little dry. I might have to send this back to Sephora because it seems a little dry, and I never get a dry one of these. Again, Urban Decay Naked. I'm going to go ahead just to show you how this works, this Beauty Junkie. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend my concealer out. You can get right up. I did buy the ones that are shaped like this. They are great for underneath there also. But I'm just going to use the big one now and use the V, because you don't have to go crazy and buy, you know, every shape they have. All right, so again, and you can use that concealer brush that I just used for my corrector. I just wanted to be able to show you how well the sponge works also. Okay, so there is my concealer. Now, of course, I'm going to set this, and with every powder that I try, my most favorite is still the Laura Mercier Translucent. I just ordered another backup of it. Now, here is another brush that came in with. This is the Baking Kabuki brush by Sigma. And it's the F89. I really like it. Of course, I do the same thing I always do. I pat it out to make sure that no lines are there, because once you set it, that's going to stay. So I take it in the cap and I just place the brush. It's a perfect angled brush. I'm going to go ahead and tap it again just to be sure. And then I just take it and I tap the powder on. And what's really nice about it is it doesn't really, you don't overuse the powder. It just puts the right amount. I still do a little sweeping away with it. But there it has, you know, I've put a little bit of powder on there, and now I'm going to go to the other eye. And I really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and tap. You know, with the sponge, you kind of overuse, or with another brush you kind of overuse, and I don't feel that's necessary, but a lot of people like to do it and they put so much on. It does, I mean, this is more than I need on there, but I'm going to sweep it away in a minute. All right, so now I've been loving this Wayne Goss brush, and I think this was a holiday brush, limited edition, but I love it. I really do. But you can use any brush, but I'm going to use it. I didn't want to like this powder at all, but I do. It is the LaPrairie. I like it. I haven't tried the new La Mer yet. Thinking about it, but right now I have quite a few powders, and it probably would be ridiculous for me to have another one. So I'm just going to take some of this powder in the cap. This powder has a little more color to it than the La Mer does. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to take the Wayne Goss brush. I really like this brush. It's very, very soft. So I work the powder into it. I don't pick up all the powder that's in the lid, but I work it into it. And it's so beautiful. It truly is a beautiful brush. And then I just tap a little bit. Now I'm just going to pat a little bit all over my face. I like the smell of it too. It's a very subtle smell. I'm going to take a little more of the powder and just work it into the brush. And I'm going to tap it on my forehead. So I have the brush loaded up. Just going to sweep down my nose in my T-zone. That's where I want most of my powder. I love this powder because even though I'm dry, I will do a setting spray, but even though I'm dry, it doesn't, after you put your setting spray on, it's just beautiful. I'm inhaling a little bit of it, my friends. Okay, so that's my powder. So now I'm gonna go in with another Sigma brush, and I love it. This is the Sigma Powder Sweep. It's made specifically to sweep away any extra powder that's left over after you do your baking. So I love it. It's the perfect side. The density is perfect. My camera cut off on me. I'm long-winded. Anyway, it just sweeps away all the extra powder, okay? I really like it. Okay, so let's move on. Showed you all the brushes I'm loving, okay? Now, there are two other brushes to this set. There is a highlighter brush which you can lightly strobe with if you're into all of that. For me, strobing, I don't know. And then they make this one, which I'm not a nose contour person, but this brush is perfectly shaped for that, any contouring that you choose to do. Another thing that other brush is really nice for that I baked under my eyes with, maybe I'll use that to show you. Okay, so now I'm going to do my bronzer, and this is another Wayne Goss brush. This one, I gotta tell you, sheds just a little bit. None of my other Wayne Goss brushes shed, but this one does. And I don't know, I hate shedding brushes, but I still love this brush. It's very nice. So I'm gonna take my Nars Laguna, and I'm just gonna take that brush and I'm gonna load up on some bronzing powder. I'm gonna tap it off, and I'm just going to work it almost like I'm working blush, okay? I'm not getting crazy with, you know, anything like that. This is an everyday look. But I do need to add some warmth back to my face. So we're just gonna do this, and this brush is just perfect for this. It's absolutely fabulous for this. And you can soften it a little bit. And then I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna work it up into my forehead. Okay, and I wanna sharpen the line under my jaw. This is a wonderful trick. I mean, look, it's a wonderful trick. Same thing on the other side. Now I have these two bands that run down my throat, so I take a little of this powder. That little brush would probably come in very handy for that. And I just lightly sweep a little color onto my neck to try to camouflage those a little. He actually said he could Botox that. Has anybody ever had this Botoxed? That scares me. Okay, so bronzer is done. I'm waiting to do my under eye till last. So blush I've been loving, and the brush I've been loving to apply it is, although I'm going to try a new brush because my friend Makeup MLC, Michelle, she sent me for my birthday, which was November 10th. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Sukou? S-U-Q-O-U. It's so pretty. And it's so soft. Oh my God, it's just beautiful. Oh, let's use it. Let's use this instead. Although I do love the Wayne Goss #2 brush. Okay, that's what I've been using to apply a little blush. But let's try this one. And I'm going to use the Becca. And I've been loving the Wild Honey. It looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, this brush is so beautiful. It's so... Michelle is a brush connoisseur. Her and Debic one. All right, so I am going to go ahead. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a beautiful brush. Beautiful. I love the Becca blushes because they have a little bit of a satin finish, which then I can cut out the step of highlighter. Okay? Because I do believe that sometimes less is more for us aging women. I'm going to put a little bit of color on. Okay? That's a beautiful brush. Thank you, Michelle. Beautiful. Another brush that I got most recently from my friend Debic One is from Viseart. I should have used it during this. And it's a smoky eye brush. Ooh, let's try a little bit of shadow. Let's just put a little bit of, we'll put a little bit of the orange on here, and we'll just add a little more. Why not? Ooh, nice. I'll tell you, if Debic loves it or Michelle loves it, you can't go wrong because they both, oh, that's beautiful. That is really a nice brush. I'm going to have to use this for a smoky eye. And this is the Viseart smoky eye brush. Love it. All right, so let's tight line. And of course, it is with the Nars Larger Than Life via Apia. It's been my most favorite go-to. And this is really ugly on camera, but I'm just going to do it so everybody understands how to tight line. Because tight lining, I'm telling you, it's your friend as you get older. It truly is. Some people do it where they just go like this with their eye, but I get better definition when I hold the lid up. Look at the difference already. It makes your lashes look thicker towards the base. It looks like you already have a liner on, because as you noticed, I don't do any tutorials with liner. I don't like liner on the top of my lid. I just think it gives me a hard look, and I also think that it makes my eye look smaller, and it's just too harsh for me. I like it on other people, but I just don't care for it on myself. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. All right, so let's do the under eye. I'm going to take the Viseart palette, and I'm just going to work with the colors that I already worked with. All right, for this, I like to use a very flat brush. You might want to work with a small brush too. First, I'm going to go in with the very first color I used. Okay, and I'm just going to sweep underneath the bottom, right to the corner, out to the edge, into the inner eye. Just sweeping that color along. I also like to drag it down a little bit. I think it opens up my eye. So we're just going to drag it down slightly. Okay, you can't even really see it because it's a very neutral skin tone color, but that's what I like because it makes everything just marry together. That's what I like to say. Everything comes together like a perfect marriage. So there you go. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the deeper orange that I used in my crease, and I'm going to go ahead and just again apply that. I'm bringing it out, joining it with my line that I created there. Okay, it just kind of warms up the underneath eye. I probably should have a mirror doing this. All right, so we're flaring that out. I got a little crazy on this side, so I'll get crazy on this side. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I just want to take the deeper brown here, not this one that we used on the outer. I want to take this one now, and I want to just load up that brush flat, and I want to go ahead and just, I'm going to join that into the outer eye there. Take a little more. Okay, so now I've really joined the eyes together. And this one you don't want to take all the way across. Now I will take the deeper of the tone and just join that outer eye and smoke it into it. Same on the other side. Smoke it in. Okay, and that is the look for my eye. So now I'm going to go do my brows, my lashes, and I'm going to use on my lips. I'll do my lips right now, and then I'll go off camera and do the rest and come back. So this is, I found a new brown that I like, and this is how I change some of the light nude lipsticks to make them a little more, give them a little more warmth and substance for the fall, because fall clothing is usually very strong in color. So this is the Armani number 8, love it. And that's the color. Oh, I just got, oh, don't you hate when you get something on you? Okay, all done. All right, so now this is how I change them. And I work on an angle. I'm not bringing it like straight up and down. I work on an angle with this. Touch them together, fill it in a little bit here, and I'll do a little bit here. A lot this month. I love this. This is by Max Factor. It's called Maroon Dust 735. It's not the color I'm going to put on today, but I wanted to show you because it is a color that I've been using a lot. And it looks just like that. It's very, very pretty. It is probably a limited edition. I found it at CVS only. I'm hoping that Max Factor comes back to us. But for right now, I just found that. But I ordered this one, and it's $4.39. It's called Why Not by Dior. Oh la la, do I love this color. It is such a beautiful, beautiful peach. Let me show it to you. But when you add in the brown, you change it and make it totally different. Okay, so now it just warms it up slightly. I don't know if this is a new formula. I think it is with Dior. It's wonderful. I may get more. I'm definitely going to get a backup of this color. I have worn this with so many different liners and it looks beautiful, every one. I think it's an incredible color. All right, so let me go off camera and I will do my eyebrows and my mascara and my hair and put my clothes on, and I will be back. All right, so don't go too far away. All right, my friends, I am back. I have, I did my lips before I left. For my eyes, I used Anastasia's Caramel. I really love Caramel. It's darker than the blonde, but lighter than the soft brown, and for me it just gives a more natural look, so I really am enjoying this. My mascara is my Revita Lash, done without the primer. This is just the mascara on its own, and I will have everything listed and linked below for you. I did mention the Sigma brush that you could contour your jaw. All you would do is put your powder and go right in between where you've contoured here, and then just lightly sweep it away, and you have a stronger contour to your jaw. I did do a little bit of that, so I thought I'd come back and tell you. So I'm really enjoying the Sigma brushes that were sent to me. Thank you, Sigma, for thinking of me. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this. The hair is just pulled back in a clip. It's very similar to the tutorial that I did the last time. You guys really loved the hairstyle. Only this time I left some of the sides down instead of pulling it all back. Left this and I gave a little tease and pushed up so I had a little volume on the top. And the earrings are from Joelle. Unfortunately, they are from a long time ago. And this shirt is really nice. It's like one of those peplum ones. And I found it at TJ Maxx. And I'll write the brand underneath so you can give a look-see at your TJ Maxx to see if you can find it. It's a very, very soft sweater. I don't like itchy, so I really liked this. It has a little bit of detailing in the front. The sleeves are smooth, and then the detail is on there, but it's really cute. It's flattering to the figure, and especially if you have a little menopause belly. All right, my friends, that's it. Leave your comments below. You know I love hearing from you. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget, subscribe. We're anti-aging here. Be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous.